Okay, J names. My first J name for a girl is my favorite J name for a girl. It's actually one of my favorite girl names, and that's Javette. Javette, I think, is a very interesting name on Josette, which is my second J name for a girl. Oh, that'd be cute for girl names. Javette and Josette for twins? Not that I want twins. I know someone who just had twins and crave for her, but one at a time if I were to have a child. Then there's Josephina, which is a more softer feminine touch on Josephine. I like Josephina better. Then there's Jocelyn. My mom doesn't really have the name Jocelyn. And it's not something very popular, very common, very much heard of. Jocelyn for me though, I kind of, and I haven't really told anybody this, but my mom, I'm sure, has probably figured it out. If you know me at all, big fan of singer Josh Groban. Even more so than Elvis. Kind of where I came up with Jocelyn. It's not a name that I made up, but it comes to mind when I say the name Jocelyn. It comes to mind when I think the name Jocelyn. So, without being direct, that's what I associate it with. Then you have Jenna. I knew a girl named Jenna Lee who went by Jenna, but I like just Jenna by itself. And then you have Johanna, who nickname for Johanna is Jo. I knew a girl named Jo. Her name was Johanna, but I like Johanna better than Jo. Then you have Jo Ellen. Jo Ellen is adorable. Justina, more feminine take on Justine. I do like Justina better, and I like the name combo of Justina Rose. In fact, I have a doll named Justina Rose. She didn't come up with that name. Or come with that, not come up with that name. She didn't come with that name, I named her that. The name Jadine, and I wouldn't probably use it because I have a friend with a middle name Jadine. That's where I got the name Jadine, is my friend's middle name. It's not hard to think that I stole it. And I probably wouldn't use it with her permission either, because we're still friends. And then there's Jessa. I first heard that name in college, thought it was adorable. Jade. I think Jade is a little bit more feminine touch on Jude. It's also very pretty. My next one is Jane, which actually Jane used to be my favorite J name. As far as not that long ago, actually just a few years ago, Jane was my favorite J name for a girl. And I knew a girl growing up named Jane, but that's not why I started liking it. I started liking it when I started watching the TV show The Mentalist, and the main character's name is Patrick Jane. But my friend, whose middle name is Jadine, her last name is Jane. So there'd probably be some kind of association to her. If she knew I named a child Jane, she'd probably think I named my child after her, which I love my friend dearly, but Jane would be after The Mentalist if I named a kid Jane. Then there's Janae, and I like the name Janae. It sounds almost like a southern touch of Jenny, just going like a Forrest Gump version of Janae. But Janae is pretty. And then Jayana. Jayana is, I thought, just an interesting name. Just recently heard it. I think I heard it for the first time today, in fact. And then Jean for a girl. Started liking the name Jean for a girl when I started becoming a fan of Gene Kelly. So, my first name for a boy with the name Jay is Jerome. Just have liked Jerome for a while. My favorite J name for a boy, which is interesting because it just recently became my favorite J name for a boy, is Jericho. As weird as it sounds, for me anyway, to like a name like that. Jericho is my favorite J name for a boy. Then my old favorite J name for a boy is Jeffrey. I still like the name Jeffrey, but I like Jericho better. Then we have Joshua. There goes back to the Josh Groban. I love Josh Groban. Ugh. My heart's breaking right now because of Josh Groban. As I've stated, I'm from Oregon originally, and about a month ago I moved to Texas. And before I moved to Texas, before I knew I was moving to Texas, when I still lived in Oregon, I found out that Josh was coming to Oregon next month for a concert. My birthday is next month. In fact, the concert's right after my birthday, a few days later. And told my mom that I wanted a Josh Groban ticket for my birthday, and she got me one. Now I can't go. And I'm so heartbroken about it. I can't go. And then we have Joel. Joel is... I knew a guy named Joel in high school. Didn't really necessarily have the name grow on me very much, but like Dean and Daryl, I worked with a Joel. In fact, my supervisor's name was Joel at my last job, one of my supervisors, and kind of grew on me. I like the name Joel. Plus, Joel was a really nice guy. Then you have Joseph. And Joseph, for me, I do associate a lot with Joseph Smith. But Joseph is also very much a family name. And it's, in some ways, there is a lot of heart-wrenching tragedy tied to that name for me, with Joseph Smith and the way that he died, and my family as well. I have an Uncle Joe who unfortunately is no longer with us. He passed away about 5 years ago, and it was very hard on my family because he and his wife, my Aunt Alice, who also passed away 5 years ago, not the same day though. They passed away 10 months apart, actually. 2 different ways as well. One died of a brain tumor, my Uncle Joe died of a brain tumor, and Alice died of a heart attack. And that family is just has a big place in my family. Alright, hold on. There's Jack is my next name. Jack, I kind of associate with Jack Tripper on the TV show Three's Company, and I'm a huge fan of John Ritter, who played Jack Tripper. So, speaking of John, my next name is Jonathan. And growing up, I had a really good friend named Jonathan. He went by John. In fact, we used to call him Jumping Johnny. I'm not going to say his last name, but we said his name, Jumping Johnny. Not that if I say a last name it matters, but just if for some weird reason he would ever watch this. Don't think he would, but if he did, don't think you necessarily have respect for him. I'm not going to say his whole nickname, but also, as I mentioned with the name Andrew and being a fan of Drew Scott, Jonathan Scott, Drew's twin brother, Jonathan, huge fan of the Property Brothers, Jonathan and Drew. Then there's Justin, and Justin I actually associate with my teenage years. I was such a teeny bopper when I was a teenager. That being said, and associating Justin with those days, I'm sure you can figure out I was a huge fan of NSYNC. The music group, boy band, NSYNC. Justin was never my favorite though. And I'm not a fan of his solo work. Ironically enough. But I do associate the name Justin with Justin Timberlake. Then there's Jacob. I do like the name Jacob, and I do like the nickname Jake. Problem. I have known so many people named Jacob or Jake. So it's very popular, very common, very used. And that would be my one qualm of using it. After Jacob is actually Jacoby, which is just a take on Jacob. And if I were to use Jacob, I'd probably use Jacoby. Still can nickname him Jake, but I'd probably just call him Jacoby. And then there's Jason. I just like the name Jason. And Jason is Jansen. I like that name too. I just think it sounds cool. And then Jared. And then my last J name is Jackson. And you probably, could be shortened to Jax, but I just like the name Jackson. Jackson, not Jackson. I like Jackson better than Jackson, just because I like the tin to it. Those are my J names.